Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Christine. I will leave all my socials down below. Now today we will be reviewing the new Milk Cosmetics Amor Eterno collection. So if you would like to see what I think of the products, then keep watching. So guys, I know you haven't seen me in a while. I've actually been vacationing and being with family. Halloween is really special for me, so I like to spend time with family around that time. But we are back in business and we will be reviewing the new Milk Cosmetics Amor Eterno collection. I am super excited about this collection. I have not opened it. I just basically took it out of the box and that was it. So we'll be reviewing it together for the very first time. Now this is the box that it comes in. This is the PR box. The collection should be coming out, I believe, on Black Friday. So mark your calendars for that. This is the box it comes in. Beautiful detailing. As you guys can see, it says Amor Eterno here on top. And it just has like the little Milk Cosmetics lipsticks with the little skulls from Dia de los Muertos. So this is really, really beautiful. It is definitely a hard box. I stumped my toe a few times, so my toe can tell you this is a very durable box. Now opening it up, this is exactly what it looks like. Beautiful, beautiful packaging. As you guys can see, on top here is the two palettes, the Vida Palette and the Muerte Palette, which is really, really awesome. Here, I believe, are the gel liners. And then here are the brushes. And these are lippies. And this is a highlighter. It came with two postcards. This one is the picture of the two owners, and in the back with the Dia de los Muertos makeup. Now this is the second postcard it comes with. It has a personal message. I won't read it. I will leave it as a surprise for you guys when you guys purchase it. So the collection, the PR box comes with 6 brushes. Really, really beautiful brushes. I will show you. It has little carving there in the middle. Really beautiful. The bristles feel really luxe, really expensive. We're gonna test them out today to see how they work, but so far so good. Now this is the Vida palette. This is the unicarton, really beautiful. In the back, it just says Vida Press Pigment Palette. It has the directions, the warning, which is Alegría Press Pigment contains ingredients that are not approved by the FDA and Milk Cosmetics for use on the eyes. Keep out of reach of children, not for children under 3 years of age. In case of irritation, discontinue use for external use only. So just basically means that it's a pressed pigment, and this pressed pigment might cause a little staining on the eye. So that's basically all it means. It has to warn you. Any makeup company has to warn you when it involves any staining of any kind. So opening it up, the palette is gorgeous. Everything is raised. So this is all raised, as you guys can see. The back is gorgeous as well. Super detailed. Opening up the palette, this is what the color selection looks like. Beautiful, bright, and warm colors. So we'll be doing a look half with the Vida collection and half with the Muerte collection. This is the second palette. This is the Muerte palette. This is what the unicarton looks like. Again, in the back, it says Muerte eyeshadow palette. It has the directions. Keep out of reach of children, not for children under 3 years of age. In case of irritation, discontinue use for external use only. Opening the unicarton up. Again, a beautiful palette. Raised detail. That's the front. This is the back. Inside the palette, this is the color selection. Now, any dark and vampy eyeshadow palette I am in love with. So, of course, I gravitate towards this one more than the other. But I think they're both gorgeous. We're going to try them both out. You guys know I have reviewed Milk Cosmetics before. And I was in love with the Impulsive palette. I think it was one of the best palettes I have ever tried. If you're looking for a neutral palette, I think that is perfect. You can definitely check that out in any Sephora or on the Milk Cosmetics website. I also reviewed their previous collection before this one, which was the Radioactive collection. That one, even though it was as pigmented, I wasn't super in love with it like I was the first one. But if you guys want to see the full review on both of those, I will link them in the description up above. So since we have a lot of ground to cover, I am going to just start with a look. We're going to start off with the Vida collection palette. I want to use the brushes that were available in the PR box. So I'm going to use this brush. This is the 818 brush, Mezcla. This is what it looks like, just a fluffy brush. I'm going to pull you guys in a little closer. Okay, so you guys are a little bit closer. I basically just applied my brows off of camera to save time, and I have some concealer on both the top and bottom. This is the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer. I have really been enjoying this. Okay, so this will be our Vida side. I'm going to take the brush 818 Mezcla, dipping into Mexicana, which is this shade here. It coats on the brush really nicely, and I will show you guys the kickback. Not much kickback. Right away, I can tell you guys that this color is super pigmented, and I am just using the Mexicana color and putting it along my crease. Super beautiful color. Moving along, I'm going to use the brush 87. This is the Transición, dipping into the shade Pan Dulce, which is this shade here, and just applying that shade directly on top of Mexicana. Now the brushes feel really nice. They're blending very nicely. I am not having any difficulties at all. That's the shades that we have so far. Because I want to use a different brush per shade, I will be using some brushes from my own collection. Dipping into Amor Eterno, which is this shade here, and just applying that directly on top of Pan Dulce. Now all three colors seem to be blending very nicely together. Now I am going to cut my crease, and then I will be right back. Okay, I am back. So because I cut this crease and it is a little wet with the concealer, I want to go ahead and use the Muerte palette in the meantime, just to allow this concealer to dry. So opening the Muerte palette, I want to use the shade Noche Eterna, which is this one here. As you can see, the shade is really pigmented. You just have to be really careful because you can apply too much. I would just recommend dipping into the palette lightly and just use small blending motions. Beautiful color. I'm obsessed with this color. So we have this color down so far. Next, I want to dip into the shade Sangre, which is this shade here, and apply that directly on top. This one as well is extremely pigmented. Now it's weird because in the palette, it looks a little bit more burgundy, like with a red undertone. And here it looks almost like a purple plum undertone. Still gorgeous color, but I'm assuming it's because I'm applying it directly on top of the navy looking color. So this is the shades we have so far. Next, I want to dip into the shade Corazon, which is this shade here. And again, I'm just applying that directly on top of the previous shade. Okay guys, I will cut this crease and then I will be right back. Okay guys, so we are back. Both the creases are cut. They're cut obviously very different because I wanted to give them a different feel and a different vibe. But we will start again with the Vida palette, just since this one is more dry than this one. Dipping into the Vida palette, I want to dip into the shade Papel Picado, this one here. This is a really gorgeous color. Next, I want to dip into the shade Sarape, which is this one here. Now this color I think works best in tapping motions as opposed to swiping. because it has like a glittery feel to it. If you swipe too much with this color, it'll just fall and break and almost land on your eyelashes and on your cheek. So you just have to be careful with this color in particular. So this is what we have so far for this eye. And now we're going to go back into the Muerte side using the shade Angelito, which is this shade here. That's a pretty color. Next, I want to use the shade Katrina, which is this one here. I actually like these shades more as opposed to the green glitter on the Vida eyeshadow palette, because this has more like a satiny kind of feel, even though they look kind of metallic. It's super easy to apply, and yes, there's fallout, but there is a lot more fallout when you try to swipe with this color in particular. So that's just something to keep in mind. Now I want to go back into that shade Noche Eterna, which is this blue shade that we had used earlier, just to blend these two blues together seamlessly. That looks really gorgeous. You guys can see there is some fallout here on my cheeks, but this happens to almost every pigmented eyeshadow I use. So if you are pet peeved about any fallout, then all you have to do is do what I do and just apply your eyeshadow first before you apply your base makeup. So that's just something to keep in mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe all this fallout out, apply my foundation, then we will be back to finish the rest of the review. Okay guys, so we are back. I applied my foundation products off of camera to save us some time. And what I'm going to do is apply some color on my under eye. So going into the Vida palette, I want to dip into the shade Sol, which is this one here, and just run that on the bottom part of my eye. I will also dip into Mexicana. Okay, so that eye look is basically complete. Oh, and I didn't tell you guys, I used the brush 517 Lapis for the under eye. It worked out perfectly. So dipping into the Muerte palette, I want to take shade Lágrimas, which is this shade here. Apply it under my waterline. And I want to have it a little bit more smoked out than the Vida side. So I'm just going to apply it more below and smoke it out more. And then using the same brush, I am going to dip into the shade Corazon, that shade here. And if you get a little bit of fallout, I just like to use a brush and just wipe it away. On the waterline, I'm going to use, for the Vida side, I'm going to use LA Girl Shockwave Neon Liner in shade Screaming. And then on the Muerte side, I am going to use the Jeffree Star Cosmetics. This is the lip liner in Anna Nicole, but as he mentioned, this is eye safe. So I'm going to use it in my waterline. Now going into the liners, we have 4 here. This one is Santos. It's more like a metallic-y royal blue. This one is Cultura. And I didn't show you the first 2 before, but this is the packaging for all of them, just based on their colors. So they're different colors. So this one is the black one, but the other box with the blue liner obviously was blue, and then it had the cream looking box for the other one, but it had the same little detailing in it. So this one I assume is black. This one is Inmortal. So it looks like a jet black. And the last one, which is in this unicarton, it is, I'm guessing, like a forest green. And this is in shade Fortuna, which looks like this. So it's like a deep forest green. I will try the royal looking blue one. This is the Santos. I will try this on the Muerte side using this brush. This is the 96 brush, Linea, and it is super creamy. I can tell you guys right away. I don't want it to be so defined. I just want it to have the hint of liner there. So I'm just applying it towards the front. Really gorgeous liner. So you guys can see up close. I think it's gorgeous. It glides on super easy, and I love this brush for it. For the Vida side, I will try the forest green looking one, Fortuna, and that is gorgeous. I'm really enjoying these liners. I think they're super great. It was super easy to use and it glides on really nicely. Next, I want to try the highlighter Iluminacion, which that's basically what it means in Spanish. And it says Digital Dust Highlight. This is the packaging, just like the gel liners. Opening it up, it has the same component that it had in the previous collections. I love this component, super durable, super sleek. And this is what the highlighter looks like. I think it's gorgeous. It has the skull in the middle. Now I'm gonna test it out with this brush. You normally don't use highlight for this brush, but I wanna see how this brush performs. This is the 777 Cara brush. So I'm going to dip into it. I almost don't wanna mess up the highlighter, it's so beautiful. I don't see it getting on the brush, but we'll see. Now this looks like it has pink reflex. You guys can see that. I think it's gorgeous. Last but not least, we have the lipsticks, I'm assuming. There's 3 of them. These are the unicorns, again with the same theme. Now, of course, I'm not going to put on all 3, but I will swatch them for you. First up is the orangey looking one. So this is the shade Monarca. This is what it looks like. So a beautiful bright orange. Next is the purple, Mariachi. And this is what it looks like. And last but not least, the pink in the shade Fiesta. This again is another one of those that you would have to layer on carefully because it can appear streaky. And this is what it looks like. So these are all 3 of them. Now I don't think any of them in particular will go good with the eye looks because they're so different. I will try Fiesta on my lips just to try it. But again, it doesn't go with the eye look. So just keep that in mind. See, this was one layer. You can see a little bit of streak, but it feels super comfortable. I would say let it dry a little bit and then just apply a second layer. Actually, if you blot it, it'll appear less streaky as well. So that's another option if you don't want to apply more than one layer. I'm applying some mascara. This is the Milk Makeup, the Kush Mascara. I've been enjoying this a lot. You guys know I'm not a fan of wearing falsies too often, or really not ever, unless it's like a super big event or something. I like to go natural with my lashes, and this mascara I've been obsessed with. Okay guys, so this is the completed look. I also noticed that in the PR package, if you lift this little tab, there is a little cartera here. Now this little carterita, you can actually apply your brushes. I don't think the palettes fit into them, but you can apply your brushes, your lipsticks, your foundations, whatever. I think it's really cute. So this is what it looks like. And guys, I will give you a close-up of the look. Once I blotted the lipstick, I actually liked the way it looked. But this is what the eye looks look like. This is the Vida side. And this is the Muerte side. what do I think of the overall collection? I think it is a gorgeous collection. Even if you're not Mexican, I myself am Puerto Rican, but I can appreciate when someone is in love with their heritage, in love with where they came from. You can tell this collection was well thought out and perfectly executed. I love both of the palettes. Surprisingly, I did really love the Vida palette. I thought I was going to be a little bit deterred from it because of the bright colors, but I actually enjoyed it. The Muerte palette, of course, was my favorite, but I think they were both beautifully, beautifully done. I love the color selection of both of the palettes. I think they're just perfectly executed. I love the packaging. I love the PR package. I do believe you can buy the PR package as well. I will list everything down below with pricing and everything, so you don't have to worry. Again, I believe the release date is on Black Friday, but you can sign up for notifications on their website. I am not sure if Sephora will sell this collection, but Melt Cosmetics has a great website and their customer service is stellar. I had in the previous collection that I had reviewed, it was the radioactive collection. I had gotten some damaged products and I emailed them and right away they answered me and they fixed the problem. So if you guys want to order on meltcosmetics.com, then do so. I think they have great customer service. The gel liners, I enjoyed very, very much so. I actually, to be honest, I think these are the best gel liners I have tried besides the ink blots. I think they're super smooth. They glide on super well. I only tried 2 out of the 4, but the 2 I've tried were super great. I had no problems. The brushes I loved, super luxe. I love the detailing in the middle. This little detailing here. I think they're gorgeous. They performed really well. What else? The lipsticks, just keep in mind that there is some that run a little streaky, so you would have to apply 1 layer, let it dry completely, and apply the 2nd layer. If not, you can do the blotting motion that I did, and it will leave you with something like this. I really, really enjoyed this collection, guys. I hope you did as well. Please sound off below which side you like the most. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe. And if you like videos like this, please give this video a like. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.